Alright, before this video starts, I just want to say I am not the best type soul player. I never claimed to be. Also, don't mind the fact I'm in a raid. You know, like, that's just the way type soul is. I'm grinding for my Bankai in this slot. But, let's just say, if you use HAKUDA, then God made up his mind about you. Because, honestly, the problem with HAKUDA is so painfully obvious, and the dev's inability to understand that is honestly pretty, disheartening about this game's future. Because sure, you can parry, but what happens when you parry? They press another move and they catch you again. Sure, you can dash back, but then they press another move and catch you again. Now, this is only the beginning of the problems with HAKUDA, because it doesn't even touch on the fact that it's just not fun to go against. Like, the entire reason people like to play Type Soul is because of the lack of stun. Getting forcefully shot into the air and put into all these rigid motions just isn't fun. There's a reason 90% of ranked games are HAKUDA. There is a reason people are struggling against HAKUDA. It doesn't matter if technically it's not the strongest. It doesn't matter if there's counters to it. Because at the end of the day, if the majority of players don't like it, then what should you do as a dev? Are you going to appeal to the super tryhards who play the game all day and can master the 0.1 second parry window? Or are you going to appeal with the majority of the players that make up the majority of the money you get from premium payouts or whatever they're getting their money from? But I think the problem is honestly going deeper, as the new devs just don't seem to understand this. They all seem to have some issue with people not liking HAKUDA, and the owner literally uses HAKUDA. So there's definitely some bias there, and I'm hoping in Friday's update, as the time I'm recording this, which is supposed to come out soon, but it's kind of a little quiet about it, and I'm hoping that HAKUDA receives some nerfs just because of the overwhelming backlash that it receives. Because if it doesn't, then they aren't listening to the community. They don't care. What are we supposed to do? If the devs don't want to listen to us, then why are we even playing their game? If they don't change things for the better, then people are gonna get bored. And this leads me to another issue. I know this is kind of getting off topic from HAKUDA, but the issues with the new devs so far, every single new thing they have has just been, every single new thing they added has just been completely overpowered. The little blood edge or whatever it's called, it has 2 crits. They both guard break. They do 1 bar if you just use them together. But that doesn't, it's just not how do you think that's fair? They added a new rarity within a week of the game coming out. You really, it seems like their priority is really out of whack. Sure, they have been extremely generous. I'll give them that. They have been giving a lot of codes. I give them props for that. Way better than it was before. A lot of codes, more than most games. Definitely a lot of codes. But as the game goes on, are they just going to keep adding more and more powerful stuff? When's the last time you've seen someone use Water Shikai in ranked? I mean, obviously there's going to be a meta forever, which brings me back to HAKUDA. HAKUDA is just the most annoying thing to go against right now. No one likes going against it. It may not technically be the strongest, but it sure feels like it when you get comboed once. You make one wrong input, and there goes half your health bar. HAKUDA is a mix-up thing. And people who say just block or just dash don't know that they have other options. If you block, they could use a guard breaker. If they predict your block, they could use the guard breaker early and there's nothing you can do. If you don't block, they can just use a normal move. It's just guessing. It's not fun. Sure, that's a big part of fighting games in general, figuring out how your opponent plays. But still, it's just, compared to everything else in this game, it's genuinely annoying. Especially with the parry window right now, and not to mention the HAKUDA skill box moves. I do not like them, not at all. But I just hope in the future that the devs will continue to try to listen to the community, as they did with Quincy. but they seem to have something like against HAKUDA for some reason, and honestly, I'm not sure why. But anyway, that's all for this video. Alright, real quick note after I recorded the entire video, even though it was only 5 minutes, but like whatever. I forgot to mention that HAKUDA literally has a passive that makes it so if you press S, then you go slower. Like, what do you mean dash back? Their kit is made so you can't escape as easily. That why are you giving that advice when the kit is made to counter that? Like, sure, it's only to an extent, but still. Anyway, that's all.